my sophomore year, I competed to play quarterback. I ended up getting beat out by another sophomore. He was probably way more athletic than I was at the time, for sure. But he beat me for the spot, ended up starting. We had a senior loaded team my sophomore year. We had probably about 20 plus seniors.
Wow.
And all
in a
of them
school that
only
is
got
a small school.
Only got
that's
about
a lot of
80,
seniors to have on a
football
class.
team.
Yeah.
But he ended up beating me out the spot. We went 14-1 that year. He ended up getting hurt. Our sectional, not getting hurt in the game, but he played the game, finished the game, and we came to school next day, and he wasn't feeling it. You know, he was out of sync. He wasn't himself, and he went home and was missing for a couple of days. We like, where Khalid at? Why he ain't show back up? What's going on? And he ended up having appendicitis. And it's the game before quarterfinals, and I end up having to start at quarterback. And we end up going to state, but we end up losing, falling short or whatever. But
this is as a sophomore,
yeah,
though.
This was my sophomore year, and after that, it was kind of like, I want to play quarterback. You know, I went into the mindset going into junior year. He was a basketball player, played in AAU circuit on Brad Beal elite team. They used to be the St. Louis Eagles or whatever. And I was there. In the summertime. I was putting the time in to work.
So he was away doing another sport, and you was at the school, basically making your bones for the coaches to see I'm that guy now.
Yeah. That's
not the one who was the beginner, sophomore year. Right. The one who ended the sophomore year is who I am.
But yeah, that sophomore year, you know, we was killing people, and halftime our seniors was done playing. You know, I'm out there, I'm handing the ball off. And it wasn't really the proper preparation for me to succeed and for us to win the championship because I wasn't prepared for it. But that season went past. That's something I put in my time, my work, and I felt they wasn't giving me a chance because when he there, he's still repping with the ones, you know. Felt like they wasn't giving me a chance, and I wanted to leave. And I talked to my mom about it and stuff, and she ended up calling them. And they ended up calling me, having a conversation, and just start talking to me about who gonna play linebacker. Who gonna lead the defense if we put you at quarterback? And they kind of won me over with that, you know, and it kind of changed my mindset from playing quarterback to being an athlete at that point. And after that, it was kind of up from there. You know, I became a first team All-State and Conference linebacker my junior and senior year, captain of the team. Like, we actually played each other, so that was fun. You know, it was just high school was fun. They ended up leaving my senior year though. Let me not forget
Your
to mention
coaches
that.
left?
The ones that had been there with my big brother and all that kind of stuff, they ended up leaving my senior year. We had a new set of coaches. Hazelwood Central coaches. Richard Nixon, he won state 3 years in a row at Hazelwood Central, and it didn't work out with us, with them and us going to state. We ended up losing quarterfinals my senior year. But
what happened your junior year though?
My junior year, the head coach that we had was there. He ended up getting suspended.
No, I mean in terms of the season, what happened your junior year?
My junior year, I finished the season with 133 tackles, 3 forced fumbles, probably like 2 interceptions.
So you went from being a quarterback guy to being a whole linebacker dude that took everything over. That's a whole different type of mentality. That ain't even the same. That don't go together. Being a quarterback and being a linebacker, not in most books. You don't do both. You might be a quarterback and a safety.
Yeah, but
quarterbacks don't generally go play linebackers because it's a whole different type of mindset you got to have standing in that box.
I used to love the contact. Back when I was younger, I used to love it. You know, when I was a kid, I didn't get to do contact because I was a quarterback. You know, so I'm watching everybody else get to do the hidden drills, the hamburger drill, and stuff like that. And they would never let me go. And high school, that's when I started, getting involved in it. And I always loved contact. I never knew how to juke nobody. I never tried to cut across the field and go score. It was 5 yards, keep straight. Yeah. Keep going. And you're not running from nobody. But it was more so me loving the game and being that player that'll do whatever we got to do to win. My freshman year was my freshman or sophomore year when we didn't have enough linemen on JV. So coach came to me like, we need somebody to play line, and I did it just so we could have a JV season, And coming in my sophomore year and playing quarterback, from quarterback getting injured. Junior year, we didn't have a linebacker, and I had to make that decision. So sacrificing is something I usually tend to do, you know, as long as it's for the better of everybody rather than it just being about me. But
man, and that kind of taught you, you know, some adversity, you know, coming from not having your way, you know, because that's
being a middle child, you know I gotta adjust.
And that's some life stuff though, you know, because you're looking into it and say, all right, you know, that's my first. You don't know you're going through adversity as a kid.
Facts.
You don't know
Facts.
that, you know, until later. You like, dang, that was adversity,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and it leads you, I'm sure, to you being able to deal with adversity later, you know, especially from that happening as a sophomore, you know, 3 years later. You eventually go to school, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, after a great career at Maplewood, you know, lead into going to college. You know, what was that like? You know, from.
But hold on, let's go into the transition of high school to college. How do you get recruited? Are you a high recruit? What happens in order for you to get to a school that you end up getting to?
I mean, my recruiting process was crazy. It was wicked. Like, on film, I look 6'2", 190, you know, standing tall, like, and he gonna come hit you. That's what. But when they come to the office, they see you Williams, you number 5. They see a 6 foot, 170-pound linebacker, and not that 190 I look on the film. So, you know, it was kind of I had a lot of Division I AA's recruiting me. And when they came in and seen me, it was kind of like, you're going to have to put on a lot of weight. You need about 30, 40 pounds to play linebacker at this school. So, and I didn't have no DB film. I ain't had no film playing safety or corner or guarding people.
Smaller position guy, because I'm not a linebacker at the next level, which is... So that I went through that as a dude who played... I come in as a running back in high school. My sophomore year, I get moved up to varsity as a running back. So my trajectory is as a running back. They looking at me like the next best running back to come through here.
Right.
But by the time I'm a junior, playing running back becomes damn near obsolete for me. I end up moving over to receiver and then playing DB or playing linebacker on the other side of the ball, but outside linebacker. For me, it was, I know that I'm not no outside linebacker at the next level.
Straight up.
I'm a skilled dude at the next level. So what can you do? What can we do, coach, to get me on that island over there and get me off of this box? Because the box is not even a challenge for me. I'm running 4.340 playing outside linebacker. You can't get to the outside. No, you can't throw an out route. No, all this stuff is easy as an outside linebacker. So I had to dang near force my coaches to move me over to cornerback. Mm-hmm. And it took somebody to get injured for them to say, okay, well,
let's do it.
He's the next. They did me the same way they did you. Well, we need you at linebacker. We need you to be at linebacker because you're the best outside linebacker we have. And if you don't play that position, who's going to play it?
Straight up.
I had to convince them that there was someone else
that could play that position.
Could play the outside linebacker position so that I could get off this outside linebacker position and get to my more natural position of being a DB, whether that's a safety or whether that's a cornerback. I need to be standing back here using my speed to go get balls. Within my senior year, so from a sophomore year, you come in as a running back. A junior year, you move over, you playing outside linebacker, starting as an outside linebacker on defense, playing running back. But then because other people are stepping up playing running back good, and I'm not worried about all of that. If you gonna get it done and we gonna win, okay, let me move over because I'm good enough to go over here and play receiver and still be a starting receiver. So get somebody else in here. But it changed my whole trajectory on offense. I couldn't play running back no more. I didn't see myself as a running back no more. I saw myself as a DB in the end. And that's because you end up being an all-state cornerback. When maybe I could have been some type of running back. You understand what I'm saying? So